Organization, as assistant town manager, I'll take the gavel and call the meeting of the select board and the meeting of the finance committee to order for today, Wednesday, the 14th of May. This is being held in hybrid format, and we have all 5 members of the select board here. Steve Bannon, Eric Gabriel, Garfield Reed, Ben Elliott, and welcome Bill Orenstein. We have 3 members of the finance committee present: Bill Orenstein, Rich Kyler, and by Zoom, Anna Dwyer. First order of business is select board reorganization. Are there any nominations for chairperson?
I make a motion to nominate Steve Bannon as chair.
I second that.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, Steve, you accept that nomination?
I do.
Okay, let's call a vote. Bill?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Steve? There you go.
Thank you. Thank you. We will,
Your name again?
we will go through the liaison list very briefly. I don't think this will take long.
Right.
Oh, vice chair, I'm sorry. All right.
How are you doing with it?
You'll have a motion for vice chair.
I will make a motion to nominate Eric Gabriel as vice chair of the select board.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any other nominations? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Good. Very good. Okay, now, I'll go ahead of myself. Liaison. The way we do this is voluntary. The chair doesn't appoint anyone. The only thing I'm gonna tell you is until I talk to Brandy, the planning board and select board housing subcommittee has been inactive, so I'm not going to even entertain that one. So I'm just gonna go through each one, and if you're up for Ben, will be the first 4. Ben, do you want to stay on the 4? Virtual Regional Transit Authority, Cultural District Committee, Economic Improvement Committee, and Lake Mansfield Improvement Task Force?
So I'm happy to stay on all of those. I will say that the Berkshire Regional Transit Committee usually meets during work hours without a Zoom option in Pittsfield. So my schedule does not really allow me to make those meetings that often. I don't know if anyone else has a schedule.
Anyone want to take Ben's place on the RTA?
That means you actually have to travel.
That is correct, that you actually have to get up there, which makes it hard to. Well, I would love to be involved, but my schedule does not really allow me.
No.
Bill,
May I take that under consideration?
I'm pointing you, yes. you may.
Ah.
Consideration to next year when we reorganize again, I assume. Eric, this is Topic Improvement Committee, Open Space and Recreation, and Sick Bank Committee.
I'm good.
Okay. Garfield, planning, now the housing subcommittee. That's on there twice.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, the Affordable Housing Trust Fund and the W.E.B. Du Bois Legacy Committee.
Yes, I guess when it's a function, apparently, the community impact.
That one is not me.
Bump now.
That, right, that is not active. Yes, that's correct. And I would like to stay on the Community Preservation Committee. If everyone doesn't mind, I actually enjoy that.
I would just say, can I add a line for the child care committee? Because I attend those anyway, so kind of.
Yeah, I think that's. Okay, the Finance Committee only has 3 members this evening, so they have chosen to reorganize at their next regular meeting. That just makes more sense. So we do have 3 members, and Phil, do you want to just explain how you're gonna vote tonight?
Yes, I'm, again, I'm honored to be here, first of all. Second, I will be remaining on the finance committee for tonight's meeting, but I will be resigning from that position tomorrow. But that's the plan there.
Okay, so we do have 3 members of the Finance Committee present, 1 virtually, 2 in person. So I'm calling to order the Select Board and Finance Committee in joint session, and all 5 Select Board members are here. There are 3 Finance Committee members, and because 1's virtual, we'll just have a roll call. Phil?
Here?
Rich?
Here.
Ann?
Here, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. So let's go through and review the reserve fund transfer request.
The first item there, is the reserve fund transfer. This is to facilitate or to re-engage, Community Paradigm Associates for the town manager recruitment. So we're requesting 3,400 from the reserve fund to be transferred to the select board town manager contracted services for that.
We'll vote on these one at a time.
Yes, please.
Okay.
This is just a finance committee rule.
Yes. Bill, do you wanna act as chair or Rich?
I can just make the motion that we, fund this reserve fund transfer request of 3,400 for Community Paradigm Associates.
I'll second.
I'll
the
second.
motion.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, just a question, is this amount, was this part of their original contract, and if we like to do another round, this is what it would cost?
This is the next round. So the original contract didn't bear fruit, if you will, so he gave us a little bit of discount.
Okay, so this wasn't built into the original contract,
It wasn't.
okay,
This is it's not a full new contract,
right,
which is great, but this is a bit of a discount than starting from scratch. We don't need to rewrite the description and the
Right.
community profile. This is probably focused really on recruitment and on advertising and working with the community.
okay, thank you.
So can I have, vote yay or nay, Bill?
Yay,
Yay for me,
Yay
Ann?
for me.
unanimously approved, right?
Yes,
Did you guys
unanimously
hear
approved.
me?
Yeah,
We can.
So the next request is from the town accountant, Allison, for consultant fees of $997.04.
Ally is here.
Yeah, Allison, do you want to elaborate on that, Allison, at all?
Sure. Actually, when I started here in Great Barrington, the 1099 portion of Munis wasn't set up correctly. So we had to hire an outside consultant to do it. And this year we actually had to use some overtime in order to finalize setting it up. So we elected to do that internally rather than hire an outside consultant for it to save money. So thereby we have to move it from operating to salary.
Okay,
So that is a vote by each committee of the year end, so you have a motion to approve.
I have which committee is?
Well, I was gonna ask.
Please.
So moved. Got a second. Any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Your turn.
So, same motion, any second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Oh, roll call. Ann?
Aye.
Well, just a question, am I permitted to be voting twice on?
No, you should only vote it on. You should vote on this side. I didn't count the vote.
You didn't count it, okay,
I didn't.
all right,
I was only looking for them.
okay, gotcha, all right, so I will vote yes,
Bill?
yes on this one.
Yes, and yes for me. So it's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ally. There's a few others. Let's see. The next one is a request from the town manager's office. We're looking to move funds from the town manager's salary contingency line to these other departmental salaries, DPW, town accountant, assessor, human resources, and assistant town clerk. Those were all mid-year salary adjustments, either approved by Mark or myself for education or certification purposes. And one of the reasons there is a salary contingency line in the town manager's budget is to account for these sorts of things. So the funds are encumbered to make this transfer. We're just seeking the approval of these committees.
Any questions? Can I have a motion to Select board,
I make a motion to approve the salary contingency. Increases.
do I have a second?
Right,
Any discussion? All in favor excluding Phil?
right.
It's unanimous.
Same motion for the finance committee. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
And roll call vote. Anne,
Aye.
I say aye. Phil?
Aye.
Thank you all. The next one is requested transfer from a variety of lines in the town manager budget to the legal line in the town manager budget. These are salaries to expenses. So we can't transfer between those salaries to expenses without your approval. So we're taking leftover funds from the intern salary, PR salary, administrative assistants salaries, the select board salaries. I think that would be Lee's for loan salary, and the town manager's salary, all to put into legal to cover the recent expenses for legal services.
Any questions?
You said that it was coming from Lee's basement. Yeah,
The one that says select board salary there, so there's leftover funds in that line
okay,
due to that vacancy.
okay.
Other question?
All right, we got it. Yeah.
A motion?
Make a motion to approve the year-end transfers, from the salary line to the legal line.
That was second.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor excluding Phil?
Aye.
Oh,
right,
it's unanimous.
So for the finance committee, same motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Anne, how do you vote?
Aye.
Bill?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Unanimous.
Thank you.
And that is the reserve fund, and we get three.
Okay,
I have the forms here for you to sign, and Ann, if you could come in and sign this week, that would be great.
Because we need 3 signatures from the finance committee, is that correct?
Yes.
this one
I'll
was.
I'll go by tomorrow.
Yes, I
We do have, just for the edification of the board members, we are holding another joint meeting for June. We're holding it on the calendar because we assume there may be other year-end transfers, so this won't be the only time this.
Do we have the other sheets to sign?
Yes, they're coming down.
Okay. Shall I pass this back up?
Thanks, Elliot. I think you're all set.
So this has to go,
Thank you,
Thank
Ally.
you. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Chris, yeah, we're sending you back the finance committee one for, I guess. Unanimous.
Did you have a date for the other joint meeting yet?
I think we held June 23rd.
Thank you.
Yeah, we already have that on calendar. Okay, great.
Okay, we'll reconvene as select board. And once all this is signed, the finance committee has. During their meeting.
I move that we adjourn the finance committee portion of this meeting.
I'll second that.
And I vote aye as well. Thanks all.
And Phil, do you vote aye?
I'll vote
How do
aye.
you vote? And I vote aye. Unanimous.
no, you are.
Oh,
That's finance.
I did.
Multiple.
Yes. I think that's it, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, we are now convening the select board. The first item is a review request for noise permit from the Department of Public Works.
This has come up recently. I think there was, misapprehension on part of a number of people that, the town noise bylaw, which says no excessive noise between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. There was a misapprehension that it didn't apply to town projects. There is an exception for snow plows and municipal equipment, which we take to include lawn mowing, leaf blowing, snow plows, clearing Main Street. All those things are often done in the wee hours of the morning before traffic gets too heavy or those sorts of things. So there is an exception for that. But what there doesn't seem to be an exception for in the noise ordinance is for contractors who are working for the town, doing town directed activities. It might be installing a sewer line, it might be paving a road, it might be building a subdivision project. So what the Department of Public Works is looking for here is clarification and permission that town directed projects this summer, including those that you see listed in the memo from the superintendent, Mason Library, various street infrastructure work, infrastructure work to be done by the state on North Point Road, the trail, the rail trail, and the housing project be temporarily exempted here from the noise bylaw. Because again, just to be clear, that this is not snow plows or municipal equipment. It's contractors working in the direction of the town. The select board can grant a permit with these exceptions to the noise ordinance for 6 months. And then to re-up that permit, there's a public hearing process. So I asked the superintendent to submit this for your consideration.
So, I just have a question, Chris. I don't know if you would have the answer or not, but I guess this wording, I assume this is strictly from Monday through Friday.
It would be, it doesn't say that, but yes,
I think that should be marked.
It should be.
it would be Monday to Friday. It would not include weekends or holidays.
Yes.
I would just ask, and it's a minor change, is that we just make it 7 a.m. to start.
Yeah.
Not 6:45 to facilitate it. There's been a couple complaints about one of the projects because they were starting before 7. And I think we should not allow them to be at 6:45, just make them all at 7, it's 15, it's not a big deal.
It just, for point of clarification here, the affordable housing project on 41, how long is that considered a town project all the way through, or is it just, as the infrastructure is getting put in?
At this point, it's a public project, just doing the infrastructure.
Yeah.
They'll be finishing water connections, sewer connections very soon. There'll be rough paving by the end of June. They'll do final paving next spring after houses have gotten started. So right now, it only applies to the public part.
Yeah.
I think you're probably getting at what happens when the homes start to be built.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we should visit that
Yeah.
portion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So do I have a motion?
Just one question, have the complaints been about?
I forgot you were now on the committee.
Have the complaints been about the noise or about some other
So
aspect?
about the noise starting early, prior to 7.
Okay.
So, I just think it makes sense to do this.
All right,
I guess, I would just speak, I mean, being in the construction field, we usually start at 7, so it seems reasonable to me, especially with, if we're talking about streets and all that stuff, just,
Yeah,
get in there and get it done. We have a limited time to do these sort of infrastructure things here in the Northeast, so starting at 7, I've never started at, any later, so, yeah.
there are times, I remember when we did the Main Street project, we paved overnight. Street's busy during the day, so I remember we did night paving.
Yeah.
So if something like that came up, they had to do a sewer connection before everybody woke up. We could come back to you specifically, but looking at the bylaw, maybe tweaking the bylaw for next year for town meeting, we might want to make this process easier on the town's public works operations.
Especially with all the infrastructure stuff we have going on.
And one of the things that I think needs to be interpreted, and I think it has been, is that we're allowed to start. That means you can't get there at 6:30 in the middle of winter and turn on your bulldozer because you want it to warm up. You're still making noise. And the whole point of this is the noise ordinance. So you start at 7, not start work at 7.
Turn it on.
Yeah, you turn it on at 7. Okay, do
I make a motion, to approve the town specified noise limits, for the DPW for public works projects. Should I read all these or?
you can, yeah, you can, yeah, you can.
The Mason Library steps and bench reconstruction, infrastructure work at Hart, Kirk, Oak, North Fairview, Prospect Street, and Terrace in Housatonic. Infrastructure work on Gilmore, Cottage, Anderson, Hillside, streets and avenues in Great Barrington. Infrastructure work on North Plain Road, Route 41, the entire length. Housatonic Rail Trail extension off of Van Dusenville Road in Housatonic. The affordable housing project, including North Plain Road and Main Street in Housatonic. Permit to allow construction-related noise to be allowed from 7 AM for start of construction activities. Monday through Friday, no weekends, no holidays. The DPW would also get a permit to allow a 6 AM start in the direction of the DPW Director's Office for activities such as paving, road crossings, or critical activities that need to be completed in 1 work day's time.
Do I have a second? There you go. Do you have any discussion? All in favor?
Right.
It's unanimous.
Thank
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah, I do have a question that gets to the common rule. It's so that if I have a business and I'm doing, not for the town, I'm doing my own business, I cannot start any earlier than 7 to 12. But as long as you're doing it, that leaf blower going, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, you could start, you just can't make noise in excess of these provisions.
I think technically like a lawnmower is too loud for until it can start.
I think that, well, that's fine, sure, because I think that 7's kind of early for that now. Yeah, okay, I'm good with that.
You could do quiet reading.
It's not me at 7. Turning it over me.
so next is the town manager screening committee appointment. We're down to, we need 1 more, correct?
Need one more, yes.
So we need 1 more because Peter Vick is accepted. But our other candidate declined.
Which one's that? That one?
This? Yeah, so it was an availability issue, correct?
Name that.
So, yeah, that's kind of my question. Do we have any updates on availability with the remaining candidates, or are we just kind of at the ask and find out phase?
I suggest that one candidate who is available and willing to be at Abrams.
I make a motion to approve Ed Abrams to the committee.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that. With
Discussion?
the discussion, and I think getting that going is the most important thing at this point.
Yeah. Just speak to the thing, I spoke with Betlin and she wanted to apologize, but when she originally signed up for it, was like during basketball season. And she had more time because her kids could just walk to the Uzi zone and stuff, and now she has to transport, her kids all around, so she didn't. It's just the time difference.
Yeah, and then I think I talked to her a bit too.
Yeah.
She was just a little worried about whole big commitments or whatever.
Mhm.
It's a lot. So I think knowing someone who knows exactly what the search, not even just what we're looking for in a town manager, but also someone who understands what the process is going to entail.
I have a question too, that, how many people that used to be on the select board or committee on this search committee? But people are a little, they're a little uptight about having too many people. on.
I think that puts it 4 and 3, if I remember correctly.
4 former select board people and 3 now.
Lee, I'm correct, I'm not.
So I don't have that. Sorry.
Do you mind, Claudia Shapiro, do you mind going through the list of the candidates, please?
Um,
The ones that you've chosen already?
okay, so on the previous,
For the committee,
I'll say,
Sean,
Kate,
Kate Burke. Um,
Marie Ryan,
Vera,
These people are all former public officials.
Clark.
That's what you're doing, you're right
Eric
back to
is
square one,
Fred Clark,
Fred Clark.
we're all former town officials.
Right, and I don't have a problem with that, I know you and I disagree respectfully.
Well, I wasn't the only one who had a problem.
Right, Marie,
Mark
Michelle,
Broom,
Eric Brown.
Was not
Was not.
no,
any sort of town official.
and,
need one more.
It just would be nice if there was just a regular, average, ordinary person as a citizen.
Peter Fish and Eddie,
Eric Broom,
those are the.
Eric Broom,
So there's one.
There's one. I mean, 3 non-select board members, I think to Claudia's point that the other 2 have served in some capacity in town government. And yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, Claudia, and I do recognize it. It's also just getting this committee together, I think has also been kind of the struggle of like. When people find out what the commitment involves, they kind of back down a little bit, and it's been hard to just kind of get the group together. Try to worry about the amount of time that we don't have a town manager in place.
I mean, and just to be straightforward about it, the first meeting, there was like 6 people that mentioned it, and there's 8,458 other people here that didn't say anything, so. I understand the concern, but it is like you're saying, we do have to get this going, and I do think it seems like a great group of people, so.
8,400 people?
I'm just saying that the amount of people that live in this town,
That's 8,400 people?
there's a lot, there's
Like a
8,000
little over
people.
7,000.
Yeah.
That's kind of a difference.
okay, so I have a motion and a second, other discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Railroad Street Youth Project Proclamation, would you care to read this?
I would love to. Resolution proclaiming May 17th, 2025 Railroad Street Youth Project Day in the town of Great Barrington. Whereas May 2025 marks the 25th anniversary of the establishment of Railroad Street Youth Project. Whereas the Railroad Street Youth Project has provided a positive outlet and guidance to the youth of the community. Whereas the Railroad Street Youth Project has established apprenticeship programs such as its culinary arts program, providing youth with its firsthand opportunity to prepare superb 5-course meals under the tutelage of renowned area chefs. Whereas Railroad Street Youth Project has established a mentoring program with local businesses, leaders, aiding youth in reaching their academic careers and personal goals. Whereas the Railroad Street Youth Project has consistently partnered with the town of Great Barrington to provide programming and mentoring for youth at town parks to reduce substance use and misuse through its South Berkshire Community Health Coalition. And to create public art honoring the life and legacy of W.E.B. Du Bois. Whereas the Railroad Street Youth Project has empowered youth to meet the complex and systematic challenges that face our town, creating a life-affirming community to tackle issues like substance abuse, isolation, neglect, and intolerance. Whereas the town of Great Barrington recognized the significant contributions of Railroad Street Youth Project has made over 25 years, providing positive direction for the community's youth. Now, therefore, it should be resolved by the town of Great Barrington Select Board that it hereby proclaims May 17, 2025 as Railroad Street Youth Project Day in the town of Great Barrington, and encourages the entire community to participate in the 25th anniversary celebration of Railroad Street Youth Project. Passed and approved this 14th of May, 2025 by the town of Great Barrington Select Board.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Anyone want to add to that?
I just want to have a question. Again, the 17th, what is that actually? What are they gonna do? What's gonna happen?
Well, that's the day, Amanda will tell you, that's the day of the culinary.
It's our culinary arts celebration where youth in our culinary apprenticeship program with area chefs prepare a 5-course meal for 200 guests. And we're celebrating our 25th anniversary this year.
My only reason I guess I was asking, because I wondered if that's gonna get used to phrase that's gonna put anybody's undies in a bunch because they were planning this day for the various people.
We do that kind of on and off, we'll do something like this. They requested it, and we thought it was.
I don't have a problem, but some people get upset when there's a day, all of a sudden it's a designated day and somebody else is gonna want their day designated.
Well, if it's worth it, we'll give it to them.
And that's fine.
This board did a similar proclamation for the 10th anniversary of Railroad Street Project 50 years ago, so there's also. It's exactly.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank
Good
you
luck
very
to you.
much.
Thank you, thank you.
Citizen speak time. Media time. Unanimous?
Hopefully. I didn't see you select.
They didn't on the agenda.
Okay.
It wasn't on purpose, but it wasn't on there, but,
So what, that means you can't talk?
well. If you have something important to say, we won't say no.
Sure, well, I think it's semi-important, maybe. There's no mention at all, and it's in the air of a parade, and there is.
We,
About that
for
next
the
week.
Memorial Day,
Yes.
we approved Housatonic and Great Barrington will be approved Monday night.
All right, well,
Yep.
Nothing was that weekend, then.
No, but we. They got theirs in after Housatonic did. And we try to keep this agenda fairly light. Is time sensitive things. The one after the election, so it'll be Monday. Anyone else? By unanimous consent, we are adjourned.